Hi everyone, this video is going to show you a basic overview of managing attendance in PowerSchool for the Archdiocese of Chicago. I won't be referencing these slides a lot, but there are a few things on here you might want to reference. And so here's a bit.ly link to the slides right there. So here's what we're going to cover, an outline of the video here. We're going to start with the importance and a general overview of the attendance process, the importance of verifying and updating daily attendance and how to do that from the admin portal, and then some reports that you can run on attendance and some data that you can get out of it. So one of the things that come up a lot with attendance are attendance codes. So this is what the attendance codes generally look like. And as you can see, the codes are here on the left. The second column says teachers assign. These are the only codes teachers have available to them. The office staff can use the rest of these codes. The other important column is this last column called presence, and that lets you know ultimately what does this code translate to. An absent or a present on the permanent record, so on their attendance record. So for example, a suspension, a code of SU, counts as an absence. So the process is going to look very different at different schools. I'm going to give you an example of one way that you can run it. You'll be able to apply these principles to no matter what process that you use. So first of all, you'll hear about daily and meeting attendance. So daily attendance is what is used for the reporting. So daily attendance is done on the homeroom sections, and that's what's used when we run attendance reports. There are some schools that may use meeting attendance, but for the most part, most will use daily attendance. And again, that is done on the homeroom sections. So then in general, what the process looks like is the teacher will do attendance, followed by the office verifying that attendance is completed, accurate, follow up with any parents as needed, and then depending on the local policies, reporting to the school the attendance so everyone knows who's in the building on any given day. So this is what it looks like from a teacher perspective. When the teacher logs into the Power Teacher portal, they'll land here before they click on Power Teacher Pro to go to their gradebooks. And like I said, it's the homeroom where attendance needs to be taken. So I can see there's a check mark on the next to homeroom for this day, which means attendance was already taken for today. If I click on Take Attendance, this is what it looked like. And this teacher already did it. So now let's take a look at what that looks like from the office point of view. So a few things. So first of all, on the home page over on the right, you may see some widgets like this. And I'm going to turn all those off except the attendance taken one. And even that one we can turn off if we want to. So I would like to, you can see here a link that says View Attendance. And when I click on that, you'll see all of your teachers who have a homeroom section that they need to take attendance in. I only have one. Again, this is our sample school called Standards Academy. Mary Poppins is my teacher that I have in here, the only teacher I have in here. So she's yellow. If she had not done her homeroom attendance, she would be red. So it's yellow, meaning she has some other classes she's set up to take attendance to, but for most schools, it's only the homeroom one that you are concerned with. But let's say this one was red, or she is not here today, and so the office needs to handle putting attendance into PowerSchool. I'm going to go to the home page and I'm going to find her account. And this goes for any teacher. When I click on their account, over on the left, if I click on schedule and then current schedule, you'll see the courses or the sections that they're assigned to teach. And I can see here's the homeroom and here's a take attendance button. So if I needed to take attendance for this teacher, and now you can see it looks just like what I showed you before, you can do so right here. If the office takes attendance, it overrides what a teacher does. Or if the office does attendance before a teacher, the teacher won't be able to put in attendance for that student. So if a student's parents let us know they were going to be gone for a few days, and we put in attendance for that student ahead of time, then the teacher wouldn't be able to change it. So that's just something to note. So once you make sure all teachers, all homerooms have had attendance taken, and I want to show you a couple other little things because we are in the new PowerSchool interface, and so there's a couple nice things. So first of all, there's a search box. So I like to turn this off so I have a little more room on my home page. So I could search for it. Let's see, it was called teacher submission, I believe. So if I search submission, I can find it right there. I also know it's under attendance and teacher submission. And I also have it in my favorites. So this one's already in my favorites. If I click on my star up here, it's right here, teacher attendance submission status. So we have favorites in the new user interface that you can easily access right there. So once you know all homerooms have made attendance, have taken attendance, perhaps there are some individual students that you need to adjust. See, I'll just pick one here. And you can do a couple things. So first of all, under the student profile, quick lookup will let you see a general overview of their attendance for the year. Again, remember, I'm working with sample data, so you don't see a lot here, but that quick lookup can give you an overview of their records. But if you do need to change a student's attendance for a particular day, if you click on attendance and then attendance overview, you'll then be able to click on a particular date and change attendance for that date. So once you know attendance is taken for the day and you want to send out to the school staff, the attendance report for the day so everyone knows who is there and not there, you can run an absentee report. The absentee report, I actually do have it in my favorites, absentee report, but I'll also show you it's just under attendance, absentee report. I have a couple slides I'm just going to show you real quick. So when you're running an absentee report or any report related to attendance, generally, again, unless you're a school who uses meeting attendance, and you would know if you are, you're going to use daily attendance for reporting. So for the absentee report, you choose daily attendance, the students that you want to run the report on, which codes you want to report on, or just don't pick any and it will report on all of them, the date, but the other really important one is this HR box, so the homeroom box, because remember, daily attendance is done on the homerooms. When you run that report, I'll just show you what it ends up looking like. I whited it out so that you didn't see names here, but you get a screen that shows a column with the student's name, their grade, phone number in case you need to reach out to someone, and then the code that is in for the day. So that's sort of what the report looks like once you run it. So back on the report here, again, it's daily. I'll leave it on all students for today. Always check homeroom. And then I'm going to hit submit. And that sends it to the report queue. A couple reminders, if I leave the report queue, I can go back to it at any time. It's in the top right corner, report queue, and it'll be right there. So I like to right click on the word view on reports and then left click on open link in new tab, just so that PowerSchool stays where I left it. And here's the absentee report. Again, I have sample data, so the only one that has a code representing an absence is this student right here. So if I go back in here, that's the absentee report. And again, you could run that on a select group of students. For example, you could pick all the fourth graders and just run it on them. You could pick a particular homeroom and just run it on that homeroom. Again, I'm in sample data, so there's only 3 students in that homeroom, etc. Again, back under attendance, there are some other reports that might come in handy. Attendance count will give you in a particular time frame how many dates a student has been absent. So you can pick a time frame there. Again, under attendance, consecutive absence reports, that's another one that you may find handy. The last report I want to mention is the at-risk report, and that one is found under Data and Reporting, Reports, System Reports. And I don't have that one under my favorites, but this page is probably a good one to add to your favorites. So if I scroll down, I've got a report called At-Risk, and I'm going to click on it. And I'd like to go back to my slide. I just want to show you an example. So when you run the at-risk report, you can choose 2 set thresholds on the report for both grades and attendance. So I ran this report using both. This report does take a little while to run. I did the whole school and it did take 20 or 25 minutes. But what I'm seeing here is these are the courses. This is a student who met the threshold for both the courses and for the absence threshold that I set. So let's go ahead and take a look at that report for a minute. So again, attendance mode will be on daily. I'm going to leave it on all students, all codes. You can choose your time frame. Maybe you want it since the beginning of the year. So whatever your time frame is. I'm just going to put some dates in here. So then the next section, this is where you set it to do an attendance query. So if you have that box checked, then it's going to query attendance and it's going to report on anyone who has more than 1. So obviously you're probably going to want it to be a higher threshold than 1. And then the next section, this is how to get it to do grades. So if you have this box checked, then it will also query grades, current. So under current, the option is current or stored. So current grades, those are the grades that are in the teacher's grade books currently. The stored grade is the last time, the grades that are in the historical grades section, the last time the school office stored grades. So you have to decide which you want to use. The number of classes with failing grades, so a threshold, what the minimum you want to be, and then what grades. So maybe you only want it to show D's. So they're just simply the letter grades that your school uses, separated by commas, and then you would hit submit and run that report. So again, that was one that takes a while to run, so I ran it ahead of time to show you this report right here. And finally, as a reminder, these slides, the very last slide has a link to this PDF that you may find helpful, managing daily attendance, a quick reference guide. So I hope that helps everyone. Good luck.